The most recent jailbreak update added in the Javelin, the second Koenigsegg in the game. This car is absolutely incredible. But how does it compare against the other Koenigsegg, the Torpedo? The Torpedo is the most sought after vehicle in the game. How does the Javelin compare against that? That's what I'm going to take a look at in this video. I'm going to compare the two vehicles in terms of their top speed, acceleration, looks, customization, and some other stuff. I'm going to give a point to the vehicle I think is better in each category, and at the end I'll tally up all the points and see which vehicle is better. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. First up, let's talk about their top speed. The Torpedo has become legendary for its insane speed. It is the second fastest vehicle in the entire game, and the top speed has been measured to be 378 miles per hour. While you're never going to reach this insane top speed, it's still pretty cool to reach over 300 miles per hour with this vehicle. Now let's take a look at the Javelin. The Javelin has very similar stats when it comes to top speed. It's reached a max of 373 miles per hour, only 5 miles per hour slower than the Torpedo. The two vehicles are practically tied when it comes to top speed. However, I gotta be fair here and give the point to the Torpedo, as it is just a teensy bit faster when it comes to top speed. Next, let's talk about their launch/acceleration. To test this, I simply drove both vehicles from one end of the airport runway down to the other. I found the Torpedo reached the end in about 5 seconds and 36 milliseconds, and the Javelin reached the end in 5 seconds and 17 milliseconds. Again, the two vehicles were pretty close here, but the Javelin does have a noticeable advantage, and when testing its acceleration, I noticed that it does accelerate to its top speed a little bit faster. The Javelin has some of the best acceleration and launch in the entire game. Therefore, in this category, I'm going to be giving a point to the Javelin, as it clearly demonstrates a slight advantage in acceleration and launch. Next, let's compare the looks. The Torpedo was created almost 4 years ago now, before the devs started implementing interior models, so obviously it's going to look a little bit inferior to the modern day standard of jailbreak vehicles. But even by the old standard, I still thought this vehicle looked pretty bad. The front end of the vehicle looks so basic, it's really smooth, and it has pretty much none of the details that the IRL counterpart has. There's a reason this thing has been nicknamed a soap bar. It just looks so smooth and devoid of detail, and overall it does not do the IRL counterpart justice. The same definitely cannot be said for the Javelin, which looks nothing short of incredible. I can tell UFED did a lot of work when designing this vehicle and making it look as accurate as possible to the IRL counterpart. The level of detail it has is just astounding, and this vehicle looks absolutely beautiful. From the interior to the exterior, it looks fantastic all around. The contrast between these two vehicles is night and day. There's simply no competition between the two whatsoever. Therefore, I have to give the Javelin another point in this category. After that, we have customization. One interesting thing about the two vehicles is that they both don't support any spoilers. Due to the much more detailed design of the Javelin, it has much more customization options, and overall I'm gonna have to give it another point in this category. Unlike the Torpedo, the Javelin supports a second body color, a second body texture, and it has interior customization options. Like a lot of modern jailbreak vehicles with interiors, I really wish this vehicle also supported a seat color, but even without that, I think there's still some really interesting customizations you can make with it. Finally, let's talk about some more miscellaneous stuff. This is stuff that I'm not really willing to devote a whole category to, but it's still worth talking about. First, let's compare their reverse speed. The Javelin has an excellent reverse speed. In fact, it has the second highest reverse speed of all of the land vehicles. Therefore, its reverse speed is better than the Torpedo, and it gets another point. However, what I will give the Torpedo another point on is the off-roading. The Torpedo has really good suspension, and it can drive over terrain relatively easily, and it goes over train tracks pretty well. However, the Javelin has a bit more trouble in this area, and I found it was a little bit difficult crossing train tracks with regular suspension. You needed high suspension to be able to cross train tracks pretty well, while the Torpedo was able to cross train tracks pretty easily on regular suspension. Finally, I'm going to give the Javelin an extra point because of the awesome animation it has when you get inside the vehicle. Wrapping up, This was a long and hard battle between the two vehicles. However, the Javelin ultimately comes in first place with 5 points. The two vehicles have very comparable stats, but ultimately the Javelin pulls itself ahead due to the much better looks it has, as well as the slight improvement in acceleration and launch. The Torpedo is still one of the best when it comes to top speed, however it got severely held back when it comes to its looks. That's going to conclude my comparison of the two Koenigseggs Jailbreak currently has. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? Make sure to tell me what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Also consider joining my Roblox group, linked to the description, and if you're over 13, follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.